2020, the Old Almondburians were looking forward to our centenary in 2021, and obviously thought, what can we do to help school, to provide something for school, or do something which will enhance the links that we've always had between the school and the Old Almondburians Society, but particularly after 100 years. I don't know whether he's here. Keith's not here yet, but one of the Keith, our treasurer, said, why don't we plant a tree to replace Big Tree in Big Tree Yard? I was, yeah. And I spoke to Ian, and we thought, where the devil are we going to put it? And the thought was that we'd put it somewhere else around school. And then at a later meeting, someone came up with the idea, well, why don't we do another seating area, because that disappeared, and put the tree there. And so that's what happened. We put that in motion. Not straightforward, I have to say, because with COVID, you can imagine, and getting builders here and builders, and it was a nightmare. But I'm absolutely delighted that here we are in 2023, and we're able to say, right, there it is, Ian, and I hope it lasts another 100 years. We are in Big Tree Yard, and the seating area was probably about 70, 80 years old. The tree, unfortunately, was cut down with great sadness by many, many people in 1997. Now, the earliest record of this great big sycamore, those of you who remember it, was in 1859, the 250th anniversary of the school. And it was talked about then, and the guy, I better get his name right, Charles Mumford, who was here between 1852 and 1855, he says, yes, I remember some of the lessons, but what do I remember most? He said, I remember most going out and looking down Farnham Line with my friends, looking at the big tree. And it was known as Big Tree then. It was a big sycamore. Now, if it was a big tree then, it must have been 50 years old. So we're talking about a tree then that was around before the Battle of Waterloo, the Battle of Trafalgar and Nelson's death, and even, dare I say, before income tax was introduced into the country. So it's been around, the tree had been around about 200 years, and so it really was a fitting idea to come along and replace it. And then I got a note saying some parents of a former head girl would like to donate a tree to school, and it was a no-brainer really. Why don't we integrate the two and say, right, well, let's have the tree and put it in the seating area, and that's exactly what you see in front of you. So now I'd like to ask Ross Farrell and EVELYN, who's a student at Newnham College, Cambridge, to just perhaps say a few words, explain what's happening at Newnham College that drove you to say, can we give you a tree?
First of all, I just want to say how brilliant it is to be back at King James, seeing some kind of old familiar faces and hopefully getting to know some new ones. Yes, we've already heard some fantastic bits about the history of Big Tree. So I left King James in 2019, and actually I was born in 2003, so, after the demise of the original Big Tree. But I thought I'd talk a little bit about this little one here. So I'm currently at Newnham College, Cambridge, which recently celebrated its 150th anniversary as a college. So the kind of history of Newnham is really, really interesting. It was established as an all-women's college, as is to this day. When Newnham was established in 1871, women were not allowed to study at Cambridge, and in fact, weren't allowed to get degrees until 1948, I believe. And kind of students in the early days of Newnham kind of organised their own teaching. They attended lectures alongside their male counterparts and even took exams alongside the men, often outperforming them to some of their not so great reactions among some of the more kind of backward-thinking staff members. So kind of, in essence, Newnham was founded as an institution to widen participation to higher education, initially on the basis of gender. And that kind of ethos has continued to this day, and Newnham is super passionate about encouraging people from all backgrounds to consider university, and especially to consider Oxbridge. And this kind of link, I think, is really important here. And that's kind of a link that I hope to continue in the future between the University of Cambridge and King James. I'm really excited to continue, meeting with kids, discussing the university, and maybe welcoming some young King James people to Cambridge in a few years. So, yeah, this tree was part of Newnham's 150th anniversary project to plant over 150 trees worldwide in places special to alumni, and for me that was King James. So yeah, I hope to see this tree flourishing. Okay. Right.
Yay! Well done. Yay! Well done.